Grand Rising to each and everyone out there on this beautiful Sunday morning. I hope all is well. Thank God for your life and thank God for the air that you breathe consistently because of Him. As for myself, I thank God for life. I thank God for having a sane mind and a pure heart. I will be reading aloud out of the book of Romans chapter 12 verses 1 and 2. So please bear with me. I'm now in the book of Romans chapter 12 verses 1 and 2. Therefore, I appeal to you by the compassion of God, brothers, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, a sacred service with your power or reason. And start being molded by the system of things, but be transformed by making your mind over, so that you may prove to yourselves the good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Like I said, I'm in the book of Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. I will be going back over these verses and breaking them down. So this is verse 1 in the book of Romans chapter 12. Therefore, I appeal to you by the compassions of God, brothers, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God. That's Apostle Paul speaking at that moment in time. He's telling the congregation or assembly that by the compassion of God, God is speaking through him to the people by the compassion of God. That people should want to present their bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God. Basically, you letting go of the carnal mind, this vessel that we're housed in is fleshly. This that we all know. And then we know that we can allow the flesh to override our reasoning, our thinking, our spiritual capacities. But he's telling the people, I'm appealing to you by the compassion of God to let that go. That carnal mind, the carnal pursuits that we all desire. And allow God, spiritual mindset and spiritual body, which is Holy Spirit, to live and move through you. That way you'll be able to present yourself as a living sacrifice to God, because you allow His Spirit to move and guide and work through you instead of that fleshly mindset. It's the end part of that verse 1. Holy and acceptable to God, a sacred service with your power and reason. See, once we allow God's Spirit to move and direct us, it's holy and acceptable to Him. Now we're using our reason. A sacred service with your power and reason. Sacred means you set apart to do something holy. You're set apart to do that. God has set you apart to serve Him. Meaning you're serving not this anything no more. What you have been used to serving, which was your flesh. Now you're setting that flesh to the side. You're killing it off. Now you are using your sacred serving with your power and reason to serve God in His like manner, in a way that He desired and wants you to do. This is verse 2. And stop being molded by the system of things. Meaning you're not allowing the system of things, the world that we live in, to mold and shape your mind no more by pursuing those worldly pursuits. You're stopping that now. You're killing that off. It's the end part of that verse. Verse 2. But be transformed by making your mind over, so that you may prove to yourselves the good and acceptable and perfect will of God. It's the end part of that verse, verse 2. But be transformed by making your mind over. You're transforming from the old ways, and you're making your mind over now. You're tired of living out that type of mentality, that type of lifestyle. So now you're transforming. You're allowing God's Spirit to transform you. His word, it starts from within. Now you're transformed from within. You're allowing God to take out and get rid of all those ugly things, all those ugly traits. And He's replacing that with His Spirit, all the good things that allow you to be transformed So now you're making your mind over to do what's right and allow God to guide you and not the flesh anymore. And this is the end part of verse 2. So that you may prove to yourselves the good, acceptable, and perfect will of God. So by you doing this, you're proving to yourselves that you're able to do this. You know you're able to do it, and you're taking a stand to do it. And now, the good and acceptable. Hold on, excuse me, bear with me. It's the end part of that verse. By you doing this, it's good on your part. It's acceptance from God. He's accepting that. He's accepting not only your power and reason, the way you're thinking now, but now the fight that you're putting up to stay in alignment with His Spirit and His guidance and not go backwards into that way of thinking that you were shaped by. We've all been that way. We've all been raised up and differently, and we've been raised up or programmed to think and act and move a certain way because of the world mindset, the way the world view things. But once you get away from how you see the world and view the world and how the world sees and views you, once you get over that hump or acceptance or want to be accepted by the world, then you kill off that old mindset and allow God to shape and reform you and convert you spiritually. So now that you getting away from that, now you're more spiritual. Not saying that you still have the thoughts and everything. Once you don't act on them no more, and you continue to get rid of that old self and let down, now you're taking on more spiritual pursuits, and now you're taking on your more spiritual self. Now you allow God to be first in your life and direct you continually. So when y'all get a chance, people, please go in the book of Romans, chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. That's the book of Romans, chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. It's an honor to do this. I love doing this, and I'm going to continue to do this until we meet again. Stay prayed up, stay reading, take life more seriously, take your spiritual life more spiritually, and most importantly, start taking God more seriously and placing Him at the forefront of your life. I love all y'all. Peace.